Morning, it's Terry from Material Rewards again. Today's Tuesday Tidbits, it's kind of like a part one and part two. What we're going to show you today and present and offer is a new block of the month. We've finished up one or two in the last month or so, so we thought we wouldn't want you to get bored and have nothing to do. So this month we're going to introduce, it's called the 12 Mini Mats. It's by the Woolen Needle, and they're cute as a button. So what you have are 12 little mats.
Some of them are done, some of them are not.
Yeah, we tried really hard, but we didn't get them quite done. And of course I did these backwards. This one is the snowflake. We'll go through these quickly. The Valentine's, a little shamrocky thing, April, May, and June. And down here we have July, which is one of my favorites. And then July, August, that's August. September, my absolute favorite, October, November, and then this one will be December when it gets all done. Fortunately, we've got a little time. So anyways, these are the mats. They're all 8.5 inch finished, and obviously they're a monthly thing. So what we decided to do is we're going to do 2 circles a month. So it's only going to be a 6-month program. I will be very honest with you. Once we got them cut down or cut and layered, you can pretty much do one of these in a nice evening, a nice long evening. So they really are very quick. They're very cost effective. And if you want to keep them, if you want to give them away, that's your choice. But anyways, they are fun to do. Now, each one of them has a backing on them. And depending on the style, we chose whichever backing we wanted. I tended to go just plain black. Marty, of course, went for something a little bit zippier. Did you? Yep, you've got
umbrellas.
Yes, so and the umbrellas. Oh, yeah, so Marty went a little zippier. So they can be flipped if you want. And I was going to bring, and I totally forgot, you could put like a little candle. You could put a little dish of candy, whatever, again, whatever you would like. That's how the program works. So, okay, I gotta get my notes. The program is gonna be $15 a month for 6 months. And so that's gonna include all the fabric to do the top, the wool for the top, and we usually use flannel for the back. So all the fabric to make the project, and that is also including shipping if needed, okay? Now, so that's how it is. Now, you can all refer back to, we did a wool tutorial back at some point in the tidbits, I don't remember, or no, maybe under tutorials. We're trying to get them separated out. But just a couple little quick things that we want to show you that will help your, even if you're not doing this, it will help your life. This is in the pattern, and this is a little template. And if you look at this, there's 1, 2, 3 dots, and each one of these, they're divided by 5. So there are 5 things in there. So what we did.
If you look at that, there's 5 candy corns, there's 5
stars,
5 stars,
5 umbrellas, 5 of everything. So what you can do, what we did is we cut this out, made a copy if you wanted to keep the pattern, cut this out and punch a little hole, those, and what you do is you just take we like our white markers, whichever way you like to go, and you're just going to punch through that, and you'll put a little dot, and those 5 dots, so there's the 3 right there, and then you flip it over, and you get your,
yeah, okay.
Yep, and you get your other 2. So that's how we marked the main component of each one. And then if you want to draw, or on the January one, because it's all these little snowflakes, we use the Transfer-Eze, which we have talked about ad nauseum, which we absolutely love. So we just made copies of the little snowflakes, cut them out, and tacked them down and stitched through them. Can you see the difference between the two? Okay, good. So Transfer-Eze is a good thing to have in your repertoire if you like doing that.
And the thing about these little mats is there's not a whole lot of actual wool applique on it. There's a lot of embroidery. Yeah. If you look at the July one, the star is the only thing that's applique on there. The rest of that is embroidery. Even the some of the snowflakes, obviously.
And this one, which is going to be, I don't know if you can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, there's 2 little lone mittens on there, but the rest of the stitching is what makes it absolutely fabulous. And even the rest of them, like there's a lot of vines in the pumpkins and the leaves, that kind of a thing. But she gives you all of those to mark.
Right. Now, one way we did on, let's look at the Valentine's one. So in your, this is what your pattern will look like. And excuse me. So what she did is, this is what the way it was drawn. So that's your little things in here. So what we did is we just took this and we made a line on there, cut the line so you can see, and then put it on, take your marker, and then you can just mark them like that within the thing, and it's all set, ready to
It
go.
worked beautifully.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of quick and easy ways to do that. That's why they are not a huge time investment, but they're very, what is the phrase? Something gratification, instant gratification. Instant gratification, because you're not spending months, years, whatever on them. They are just beautifully simple and easy, but very effective.
And that's why we wanted to do them for more of a summer project, because you have less time in the summer. It's a fact of life.
Yeah.
And so these are nice grab and go little things that you can take with you, but they're not a high time consumer.
And this would make a nice gift too. We have another lady that's doing one of the other block of the month, and she's going to try to get them all done and give the whole set as a wedding gift or a Christmas gift or whatever. So that would be, or, we even back in the day, we used to do it and people would give one a month to a person, but that's your thing. So anyways, so that's one of the things. Now, a couple things that are nice but not necessary that we want to talk about. Well, first of all is the Transfer-Eze, which for the snowflakes, we've talked about that. The soft fuse is the fusible web that we like to use for the applique. Now, this is another, pardon?
For wool.
Full wool applique, yes. The other thing too, oh shoot, I just lost my train of thought. Oh, this would be almost a beginner project.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
Because first of all, there's not a lot to mess up if you really are worried about it. But it's by the time you get the second one, you'll be in a rhythm. So it would be a great little girl, not tiny girl, but somebody who was competent.
If you're just starting, if you've wanted to try it, this is a great time to jump into it, because there's not a whole lot on there, and there's very basic stitches on it.
Yep. Okay. So the soft fuse, the Transfer-Eze, we talked about this. Now this is another little tool that we always like to tell you, tools that are nice to have in your arsenal. Not necessary, but they do make your life necessary. These are called cut-around rulers, and there's actually, I think, 3 different sizes to them. This is the largest, which you don't need this size, but Marty left the other size at home, so we didn't have that one.
Oops,
but
my bad.
Yeah, but the concept is still the same. And the one that we recommend for this project is called the Midi, M-I-D-I cut-around, and it would be $25.
That goes from a 4-inch circle to a 12-inch circle.
And then this one goes from a 6 to a 17-inch circle. These are great if you're doing anything that has circles. Now, what I'm going to try to do, I'm going to come around the end because I want you to be able to not be across from me. Okay. So what you got is on this particular one, you do everything in quarters. So for these, you're going to cut a 9-inch circle. That's an 8 or 8.5 or 9, whatever.
Think, yeah.
So you take your piece of fabric and you cut it like maybe 9 inches or 10 inches, whatever. This is just a scrap I had. You're going to fold it in half and fold it in half. So now we've got quarters. This is the fold side. This is the fold side. If you look at the ruler, and I hope you can see it without, is it reflecting badly?
Nope, it's doing
okay. If you look right here, there's for a 1/4-inch seam allowance, or then it says fold line. Now, if you're doing something where you're piecing a circle into a background, you would need to add that extra 1/4 inch. But because we're just having a straight circle, we're going to put that line on the fold line. So here's my fold, here's my fold. So I'm going to be putting that on. Can you see? Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, remember we said that this was going to be like an 8 or 9 inches. I'd rather go a little bit big. We can always trim it down. If you've got the 45 millimeter cutter, it does work a little bit better than if you've got the 60.
I've used the 60 with no problem. So.
You can do that whichever you, and especially when you get to the smaller rulers, the big one doesn't like to make the sharp angles. I think that's the problem. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I don't know if I'm going to put this up here for a minute. Okay, so 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, blah, blah, blah. Those are the sizes that you're going to cut. So I'm going to put this back on the fold, and it has to be on the fold, kids. If you don't, you're going to have 4 little quarters. And then I'm going to go to the 9-inch line. Make sure my fingers are out of the way. I don't want to hear any bleeding stories. So I'm going to put in the 9, and I'm on my, this is not hard enough. Hang on just a second. We're going to move it. Sorry about that. I thought that would be a good size. All right, so we're going to go to the 9, and we're putting this on, and we're going to cut around. Well, did you? You saw my elbow.
Got your shoulder.
So this is what you would do. You would just go around the 9-inch, and then when you take this off,
It didn't cut.
it didn't cut.
You got a dull blade in there.
Well, excuse me, damn it. Talk amongst yourself for a minute.
So anyways, let's go back to these because these are pretty to look at. I mean, if you look at each of these guys, this one, like as we said, you're doing buttonhole stitch, and then it's the chain stitch. And that's all that these little things are. And again, I use the pattern to mark them on there. And if you notice also one other thing in the outside edge here, I alternated a blue and a red. So what I did is I went through and I buttonholed the outer edge with the red first, but what I did is I did a very long stitch. So then when I went back with the blue, I just did them in between there. So it kind of alternates that red with the blue. So that was kind of fun. I think that doing a chain stitch, which is what these guys, it's just like a lazy daisy over and over and over again. Doing that for vines is just such a stunning way to do it because especially with the variegated threads, you get such a nice shading on it. And that's what you're going to have with the pumpkins. That was a stem stitch. And if you notice, like on this guy, all they did on this is just 5 little lines out and then a French knot in the center to anchor them down. You're not going to be washing these things ad nauseum, guys, so it's not like you have to have them every last little 1/4 of an inch nailed down to the floor.
This is, I think that's called the fern stitch, maybe. That I love using
Feather
that.
stitch, yeah.
I don't know if the feather, but anyways, I love using that on things like this because you can go over both sides. I did that. This one was fun because on the long ones, I just did a long stitch, and put a French knot right in the middle.
And kind of anchored everything down.
Yep.
Again.
Okay. Meanwhile,
are you
back.
ready to go again?
Yes. Meanwhile,
All right.
that's why we don't use it 45 because it's never we don't.
Oh.
Well, we don't use it at all. So, anyways, pretending. So then I cut around that with my sharp blade, and then you take this, and you have your perfect circle ready to rock and roll.
See, and I've even on these guys, I cut the soft fuse the same way.
Yes.
So then you have a perfect circle going on a perfect circle, and then everything is all anchored down nicely.
Now that's the other thing too, and I don't know if she discusses that, but that's what we like to do. Once you get the top done,
I don't know if
the
there's
top
one that-
done, there you go, the top done, we like to put a circle of the soft fuse, the fusible web on it, and then we fuse that to our backing, and then it's ready to just do your stitches on the edge. So anyways, now that I've made quite the mess here, next week will be kind of part 2, and what we've tried to do is we've tried to put together a bunch of projects that are pick up and run. Like if you're the type of parent or grandparent that has to go to 14 kids, not soccer. What does Mike go
Lacrosse.
to? Lacrosse games. Or if you're going to baseball games and you're sitting in the bleachers. Or if
you have to go to the doctor's office, and God knows there's wait lines on those things.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? You can take these, put them in a Ziploc bag or a cute little pouch or whatever, take it with you, and you've got something so you're not sitting there playing games.
Or if you're actually going to do some traveling.
Yeah, right. No, but you go into a doctor's office now and everybody's got their head down, they're working on, they're going on their phone like this, which is better than sitting there staring at each other, I suppose. So anyways, next week will be part 2, and we will have a bunch of small, portable projects to take
Low
with
time
you.
consumption.
Low time consumption. What did I say before? See, I forgot
Instant
already.
gratification.
Instant gratification.
My God, she's going nuts, people.
I am going nuts. What can I tell you? So anyways, I think that's everything. So we'll see you next week. Bye.
For part 2. Bye.